Today we're talking about the video editing apps I use on this thing for TikToks, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts.
Work hard, rest often.
Hello and welcome. My name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial photographer and all-around content creator, and we're going to go through my phone to see the different apps that I use to post and manage my TikToks, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, because there are quite a few and each of them serves a different purpose. So let's actually just jump into it. Now, for a while before changing up my workflow a little bit, I used InShot a lot. I don't use that app so much anymore, and I'll explain the reason why. So jumping in here, I actually need to rename this folder, and you'll notice my home screen is pretty busy, so just ignore that. But let's go ahead and actually rename this guy right away. Video, and this one, photo. There'll be a whole separate video on the different photo apps that I use for editing and then for shooting as well, so make sure to subscribe for them so you know when that goes live. But today we're talking specifically short form content and what I use on my phone to manage that. Because a lot of my short form content is done directly on my phone. Usually I'm on the go when I'm doing it. I'm on set, you have a little break, so rather than just scrolling endlessly on social media, I'll quickly edit together a TikTok, a reel, post it away, and call it a day. But sometimes I'll actually repurpose these YouTube videos, cut them down, make them vertical for these platforms. So it depends. And sometimes I'll use a bit of both. Right away, I record either in the native camera app, just using the video, sometimes cinematic or slow-mo, if I have a specific purpose for it or want to make it a little more cinematic. And sometimes I'll go into the Filmic Pro app if I really need it for a specific purpose. But all in all, pretty much the camera app has served me pretty well, and it does what I need it to. Sometimes I'll even use this as a behind the scenes angle. So if you see any behind the scenes photo, video, TikToks that I make, this is one of my many behind the scenes angles that I'll use. Sometimes I'll use my backup camera, sometimes I'll use a GoPro, but usually if I just am out shooting either with my film camera, with my digital camera, whatever, I'm on a shoot and I want a behind the scenes angle, I'll either give this to an assistant or just put it on a tripod or something and get a couple angles there. It's pretty convenient, and honestly the quality out of it, I can't complain. So also, for the record, this is the iPhone 13 Pro. If you want a full review of it after using it for a bit, that will be linked right up here, so make sure to check that out. After I've actually recorded my videos, I don't usually do it in the native TikTok app, and I'll explain why. Because in the TikTok app, the issue that you're tied to is when you're actually recording, when you go to edit it, you only have limited functionality, even though they did up the quality of the editing features in here. But the thing is, when you export it, you can't just download it without the watermark. You're gonna get the watermark on there. And I wanna export it to Instagram Reels, to YouTube Shorts. And if I have that watermark on it, it can be distracting, and I don't want that. The quality will drop. So what I'll do instead is I'll record on the native camera app, and then I'll come over to CapCut. This is my main editing beast. This is what I use to edit my main videos or everything. So here's one that I did where we were in Montreal, did a kind of tutorial on how to take better couple photos. So you can see I cut it down in multiple ways. You can go in, tap on it, zoom in, zoom out, everything like that. And actually, part of the reason I started using this is because you can have overlays, so you can overlay different layers. You can have multiple layers of audio. It is also tied in with TikTok, I believe, so you can add TikTok sound directly into CapCut, which is always helpful. And actually, it almost seemed with the TikTok update, the editing features are starting to resemble this, but I don't think they're quite there yet. So for me, I'm just able to quickly go through, edit together everything I need. You can add photos, videos, mix them all around. You can add animations. You can speed ramp, which is when you slow down part of it and then it speeds up again, change the volume. You can even cut out certain parts. So if you want to remove the background or something, you can see it does that for the video right there, and that's pretty darn handy. Also, if you forget and you accidentally remove the background, you can pretty easily pop it back in. And then all you do is at the end, it will have a little CapCut logo at the end, and all you have to do is tap on that, hit delete, and then it will export without it. And then From there, if I'm doing a video, say like this one, where I'm doing a voiceover, I'll actually do the voiceover in this app as well. And that's one of the reasons I really like it. It allows you to add multiple pieces of voiceovers versus TikTok. I find it's a little hard to work with for the voiceover mechanics. I really like how it works with CapCut here. I'm not sponsored by any of these apps. This is just what I use and what I like. And it's served me well. I've used it for a lot of my videos. So hey, the voiceover features, you can add multiple pieces if you have a longer video and you can only do little pieces at a time. It's harder to do that in TikTok, but I find this makes it work really well. Then you can just export it. And then from there, you go out, and I do believe this is a free app as well, CapCut is. And then you just export it, and it's pretty simple. You can change the different resolution. I think maybe to go up to 4K. No, okay, you can export in 4K if you want to. I thought it was gonna be like a paid thing, but apparently not. Bonus, I learned something today. CapCut does have auto captioning software in it, but to do the auto captions, what I find, it does the same kind of thing that TikTok does with their auto captioning. If it's just a gray box at the bottom and it doesn't really keep the viewer engaged, because if you have really good captions, you can keep them engaged pretty well. Now, maybe they changed it up. Okay, they changed it up a lot since the last time I did this. So you can probably not even need the other app that I'm going to mention here, but I'm going to mention it anyways because that's what I've been using for a while. But I'm going to play around with that captioning feature in CapCut now and see just how well it works. Having only used it where it's like the gray box, what I would then do is pull it over into another app I have called Captions, I think. I looked for a couple different captioning softwares to try and make this work as best I could. Now, to actually save anything from this, you do need, it is a paid app. Now, if you aren't making any money off of TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and you don't want to be or anything, you're just doing it for fun, maybe this isn't worth it for you. For me, this was worth it because I know those captions can hold people's attention better, and if that works, then I can get more views, and then maybe that can translate into a positive financial outcome. So it's kind of an investment, but it's not even that super expensive. Again, not sponsored, but it's really at the end of the day, it's up to you. And then you can export it in 4K, you can save the project and come back to it. And you can also change the different settings for the captions. I always like to do this, so that way it changes it up. And you know, after using this, I started to be able to tell when people were using this app, because you would see the same captions, but you'd see the default style. They wouldn't really play around with it. So I like to actually go in and change up the color, change up the style of it, maybe add my own custom style. So that way I get a couple different looks and it keeps it fresh across your TikToks. And you can even create a custom style and use it for all of your TikToks. So that way it kind of fits within your brand if you have specific fonts or specific style or anything you want to do there. And then all I do is export it from there and I'll upload it to TikTok, add an audio from there, add my captions, any titles if I need them. I'll post it on TikTok, but what I won't do is save that TikTok and then post it again to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. What I'll do is I'll take the export directly from Captions, the captioned one that doesn't have any music behind it, and then I'll go over to Instagram Reels, add an audio from there, and then I'll airdrop it to myself, upload it to YouTube Shorts, and add a separate audio on my computer, because what I notice happens then is, one, I'm less likely to get copyright issues on YouTube because of music from TikTok, so there's no issues there. And if I use an audio from Instagram Reels, it might be more likely to push it out to a larger audience. So those are some things that I like to keep in mind when editing my short form vertical content for a couple different platforms and the apps that I use on my iPhone to manage all of that. It's a little convoluted and a little complicated, but if you're serious about content creation, these are some apps that, quite frankly, they're really easy to use because they took me no time to pick up. And sometimes I take a little longer to figure these things out. So that was actually really good, especially when it's a feature that's not like super, crazy pro editing software, whatever. It's something that's meant to be streamlined. It's meant to make sense, and it does, and it works, and it makes my life as a content creator easier. So hopefully it will make yours easier as well. Do you use these apps? Would you use a different one? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe so you get when the photo editing one comes out, so you see all the apps that I use for that. Work hard, rest often, and as always, my friends, I will see you on the next one.